Good morning. How's it going? Shall we get into it? Let me just check if all my streams and stuff are working. YouTube, are you fine? YouTube seems okay. Twitch seems okay. Okay. Then let's go. Okay, so sorry, I didn't stream yesterday, but I did do work. And unfortunately, I didn't do the type of work I was really thinking I was going to do. So I didn't get back to this. So while I was doing... How far is this thing away? It's too close now. Should be a little bit less in my face. Anyway. So while I was doing all this stuff, I was breaking other things in the background with the UI specifically. So my UI navigation got kind of funky. So I was trying to fix it, and I don't think I've completely done it. But the idea is that if you right click, you should be able to just go back, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. And the main way I'm doing that is I made a little... Okay, first of all, I fixed all my game input to be with the new input system because I was mixing the old and the new. So I just kind of came back here and updated that so that that stopped happening. And then I made what is a navigation manager for my UI. Right, and now that I think about it, I don't actually like the way this is working. So it's pretty straightforward. You just have a stack of navigation items. I just call it history. And then essentially we do back operations, open, or replace route. Right, so then all you have to do is... Now, see, now this is the thing. You just have to call these to open and close different panels. But now the problem is some of my panels are not this. So let's go check as an example. I think the structure... I can obviously never find the thing I'm looking for. Structure panel view. So here's what are the issues, right? So we have these button holders and stuff that I add here, which are just visual elements. Now the issue with this is it is physically a visual element. Right, but I'm not sure how, if I just add it like this, if I don't create a class for this holder thing, or this holder thing, or this holder thing, and, you know, make it so that it inherits this interface, the iNavigation item interface, that I can't make it do stuff with the navigation. I'm thinking, do I just do all of this with a visual element instead? Because the problem is like back button click, then I do this. Right, but technically what I want to do is these things, open and close, defined by the navigation item. I could force it to do some of that, but then I'll have some weird hybrid of the two systems. So I really want to get it to completely use the navigation manager. I think it's cleaner at the end of the day. then at least when you go back with like escape, because that's the thing, this is what this is supposed to do. When you click escape or right click or something like that, it's meant to interact with the navigation manager, right? And use this back over here. Or, no, not replace route. These two normally is a little bit less worrisome because we can use it in a different way, but you know what I mean. So I'm now thinking, I have this interface. I can't do, let's try something. So could I do private I navigation item? So that technically works. But a navigation item, I can't create a new navigation item, right? It's like, well, I can, I guess. Navigation item equals new. Okay, that doesn't work. Yeah, cannot create an instance of this. Yeah, so it's more something that you have to add. So what I would have to do is I'd have to do something like this. Yeah, I'd have to make maybe a class and then like call it navigation element. That extends a visual element. But then if I add it into the world like this, I'd have to make sure it is a navigation element and not just a visual element. Okay. Well, this is gonna get hairy. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's save, and I can show you what happens if I don't do it that way. And then I suppose I'll just have to come and do it. So let's click play and drink some coffee while we wait for the compiler. Nothing like your first sip of coffee for the morning. So it works pretty well. So you'll see when you click here, I have this container with all the node buttons. And now this is the thing, right? If you look at the way it's set up, so this is my select node buttons. Essentially, that's this holder, right? That keeps all these buttons. So it opens up immediately. Now I can click on, I don't know, let's go logistics, right? And I can go manage exports. I can go, but you can see each of these. So logistics, it opens a new panel. That thing should technically now also be a navigation item. If I click on manage exports, this little pop-up here should be a navigation item, right? Because yes, there's a back button, but whenever I want it to be put on the stack, so that if I press escape now, it should go one back, right? It won't. Well, I could right click, and right click now removes the last thing that was placed on the stack. And unfortunately, it wasn't actually. See what the problem is? Like, right clicking here removes my logistics node from the stack, right? But this thing was never on the stack, so I don't see that now. See kind of the problem I'm dealing with here. So I need to figure out how to correctly arrange or use these things so that works. So you can go manage export, add new resource export. Now, if I right click here, yeah, obviously, so you can open up your thing. And now watch this. If I right click, it goes away because that pop-up, I made it correctly. That pop-up is, in fact, a navigation element or item. Okay, now that happened. Which again, I'm not sure why that happened. We can do add a pop-up, right click. If I click that again, it just closes the whole thing. Yeah, so there's some... Now this is what I mean, right? There are definitely bugs. Right, and these bugs exist because I have a mixture of two systems. So I need to completely embrace the new navigation system to fix this. I need to think in terms of the navigation system and make all my UI work accordingly. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do, actually, I think I need to do something like... where is this navigation manager actually currently? It should be somewhere in presentation, I guess. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new item here, and I'm gonna call it the navigation element. Okay, navigation element.cs. Add. Yeah, and essentially what this is gonna be, public partial class navigation element, and it's going to extend visual element so I can use it, right? And then it's also going to be an navigation item. Okay, and that's kind of the idea. And then obviously we need to implement the interface so that these two things exist. And I don't really need it to do much more than this, to be honest. The only other thing we need to do is add it to UXML element, and we give it a name. It is a navigation element. So that would be the idea. Right, and now we have a way of making sure that all these panels that I show and hide are always navigation elements. Right. Now, this is a little bit annoying because now we need to make sure that when you close and open them, they do something. So the most basic thing they could do when you close and open them, I guess, is just simply, well, this, right? It should at least, if you do close and open, it should do style.display equals display style dot none, right? In that case, and over here it should do flex. Okay. If I want a navigation element to do other things as on top of this, I can make that happen. But for now, I think this is the only two. It's basically a visual element, right? It's not going to be very special. It just needs to do some other things some other times. Right, so We can save that. And let's go to icon selector first, because I've done something like this already. Just get the pop-up working. You can see here I made a pop-up element. Right? Which is just a class over here. No need for interface, you reckon? Hello, Damon, by the way. So, I do think I still need the interface. The only reason I think that is because of these. Right, so my whole UI is a little cooked, let's be honest. But so things like these where I have a structure panel view. Actually, you know what? Maybe you're right. How would I make this thing work? I guess I would have to make the root container if I make the root container a navigation element, that's a bit strange though. I don't know. Yeah, because currently I have these mono behaviors, right, that control a lot of my UI, all my panel views, you know, and they technically, I just give them the interface now so that I know for a fact I can open and close them and add them to my navigation stack, right? And this is meant to solve the problem of, you know, when I have things inside of here, like these visual elements that I also want to act like navigation. Like how do I, the only way I can think of having this thing be a navigation item is if I make it a navigation element instead of a visual element. I suppose I could change how root container works. It doesn't do much, right? It just holds a few default style sheets. Yeah, well, okay. I do that. So here's my navigation manager. So right here, when I replace root, I do that, right? I have a history of all navigation elements. So I'm building a stack, right? So as I open and close windows, they keep adding to the stack, and then I can take off the stack. It's just so that my navigation works a little bit better when I go back, right? And sometimes there's this replace root thing that happens when I want to just clear the stack. I want to get rid of all open UI that is part of navigation. So some things aren't navigation necessarily, so they won't just disappear. Other things are, so they should disappear. And then I open a new one. That's kind of... it's kind of the idea. But I think this will work fine. But yeah, this is going to make me now have to redo a bunch of things. Well, bring on the pen. Let's go. Okay, so this icon selector is the first thing that kind of comes out as... This is essentially my first attempt at making a navigation element, right? Essentially. See, this is the other thing that annoys me. Actually, does this work now? I'm gonna try something here quickly. If I go underscore pop-up equals new navigation element, right? Am I allowed to do... Now you see, this is what's annoying me now. I can't do add. Ah, for crying out loud. Why does that happen? Because my navigation element is obviously extending visual element, right? But I can't add it to a class list. Ah, yes. And it is a visual element, so it should be possible. What if I did that? No, that's not how code works. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. So I can't act. Oh man. Can I do style? I can't do style. So I lose access to all the visual element. Or can I do pop-up base? Oh, is that how it works? No, that's also not how it works. Why not? Did I compile to Unity yet? Oh, wait, that's a good point. That is a very good point. I don't think I did, actually. Oh, look at that. There are even errors. So, okay, yeah, let's just say, let's compile. Scripts have errors. You say that, but where are they? I guess I just cleared the error, right? So, problem solved. Well, it's compiling, so. Okay. So now if I do popup.style, add to class list. It's interesting. What if I do visual element pop up base equals popup.base? It's not a fan of that either. I guess I could do pop-up as a visual element. That should technically work. You mean the navigation element class? This one over here. Yeah, I mean, It's not very interesting. Unless I am doing something wrong with how I extend from visual element, I guess. It's possible. Do I need an empty constructor, you reckon? Public. Oh yes, I do need that, you're right. I forgot. That is something you need to give. I remember now. Okay, Unity. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't even be able to add it. Type CTOR plus enter. I don't know what that means. Okay, does this change anything for me? Not really. Oh, it spawns a constructor. Yeah, okay, so but it still seems like I can't access the visual element. What if I do? Is this a thing? Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Ah, for crying out loud. Okay, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. The pop-up here is actually defined up here as a navigation item. Is that really the problem? Wait. Let's try something. What if I do a navigation element? And then I just do equal new, right? Make a new navigation element. Can I do now navigation element dot add to class list? Ah, for crying out loud, I can. Okay, no, it's me. It was all me. So this actually works. It works fine. I was just being stupid because up here I made the pop-up iNavigation item, which, I mean, it works for some things, but it also means that you can't access, I guess, the interface. Yeah, the interface doesn't inherit from my navigation element or a visual element, so that's why I lose all those. Okay, so what I should actually do here is have this be a navigation element, because technically that's what it is. Yeah, the interface only knows the two things I told it about. So now, if I do, pop-up equals new navigation element, and get rid of all this nonsense, then I could just, because this is the few things I wanted to do. I can do, pop-up dot add to class list like a normal person, and I could just give it the icon selector pop-up. What's the other things? Style dot position. Absolute, and add scroll view. Oh, okay, on that thing. Pop-up dot add scroll view. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And then I don't need this class at all, because this was, yeah. And then I shouldn't need this either, because here I was doing funny things. So the pop-up I could just add straight. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, I got... What? I have too many brackets here. Okay, so the pop-up is now working with our new navigation element class. Ah. You do a class in a base class instead, and remove the interface from your mono behaviors. You get rid of this. Oh, you mean we can just, instead of this, I can just inherit navigation element for the structure panel view. Or something like that. Meh. I guess I could do that, but I kind of like... I don't know. I'm scared. You'd assume that mono is top of the flow. You mean for the navigation? Yeah, technically the mono behavior is not actually in the stack, right? It's technically a visual element like the root container or one of these panels or something that I have that are being placed on the stack. And sometimes the mono behavior is on the stack and then one of the panels inside the mono behavior gets placed on top of it in the stack. So yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness going on there. There's a lot of bit of weirdness. Yeah. No, I think you are correct. Maybe I should make a... Yeah, maybe I shouldn't make the root container part of the stack, nor should I make this panel view part of the stack. I should just make navigation elements inside that I put on the stack instead. Yeah. That's probably better. Because I wouldn't want to make this structure panel view a visual element itself or a navigation element. But anything that is going to be part of navigation, like these button holders and stuff, I should make. And I should just make like a... kind of like the root container, but essentially the bottommost navigation element, and everything should be contained within that. Well, let's try it. Let's go and work on the structure panel view then. In UI Toolkit, unfortunately. Ship it. If only. Okay, so let's see. If I open my structure UI and structure panel, right? This is essentially, there's a little bit of a flippin' disaster, this thing. Some mistakes might have been made with this thing. Damn. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so normally I take the root container, which is the bottommost or the lowest, lowest most element, and I just make it disappear. If I want to close the entire structure. Yes, like this is a flippin' disaster. For shit's sake. Okay, let's close some of these. I think I need to make my... It's a painful stream day, Brody. It's a painful one. Okay, I think I'm gonna make root containers actually, because everything works with the root container at the bottommost level. So instead of adding just another thing in the hierarchy here, the root container can just be part of the navigation system, which I like more. And then, yeah, and then I don't have to make my structure panel view mono behavior part of the navigation system. I just make its root container. It's in any case the root container that I'm showing and hiding whenever I show and hide anything. So it kind of makes sense. So I could just extend a navigation element here instead, right? And let's break some more things. Let's remove this interface from navigation element. Right. Now I should be able to access on the root container still those two functions, right? Open and close, yeah. So now what I could do is a root container can still be a root container. Okay. So let's see. It's gonna be interesting. But if I do root, I might have to I could just do root container.close now, instead of doing all that nonsense. Okay. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Hold on to your pants. We're gonna get there. Okay. So now all root containers are navigation elements by default. This helps, I think. I'm gonna remove this navigation item. I'm actually gonna go to my navigation manager and tell it to not work on navigation items, but to actually work on navigation elements instead. Is that all I need to do? Oh, here I just need to do that and that, and I can delete this interface essentially. Bring on the errors. Let's go. Let's get some errors going. Then at least I can find all those places I need to do that. Okay, this is good, I think. Okay, let's go back to the structure panel and see what else I need to do. So this node panel holder. Okay, this thing is now going to throw me a bunch of errors. Yeah, because I have these Let's just clean this up before I go too far, because it's going to mean it doesn't want to. Yeah, because even in this close, all I do is I just go to the root container and open and close it. Right, so that's kind of dumb. Yeah. Now, so let's delete this also while I'm here. Interfaces or what? Yeah. No, I think you're right there, Damon. You know, I think this is a classic give a man a hammer type of situation. I didn't think it through properly, I would say. But now I have a better idea. Like, look at this. Everywhere I just take the root container and I show and hide it anyway. So the root container itself being a navigation element just makes more sense. And not having the interface, I'm always happy for that, because now I don't have... Because I was building something that has navigation elements and an interface navigation item. Getting rid of one of those is a win for me. I don't need 3 different things. I just want a thing. And my thing is now just a navigation element, and that's good enough for me. I don't need... did I delete all of those? We'll hopefully we did. I like simpler. Cannot convert. Okay, where's this happening? Oh. Yes, okay. So this is now, all of this is going to be a problem. Because I was just opening up my panel views. No. Okay, we'll get back to this in a minute. I just need to focus on one thing for the minute, for now. Just want to get the structure panel working proper, and then we can go back and see what the hell's going on there. Okay. Null reference exception. What? Inherited data source. Okay, this is a UI toolkit problem. I don't know what you're on about, UI toolkit. Because one of those, if I go out of UI toolkit, it's fine. Yep. Let's do a recompile. I don't know if that's going to help UI toolkit feel better about itself. Hopefully it does. I don't want to be looking at the errors. Okay, great stuff. So let's see. So we have the structure info panel. Now this itself doesn't get shown and hidden, so it can stay there. That, I don't know what that does, but anyway. So this select node buttons, right? This is technically a navigation element. So what I should do, the correct thing to do, first of all, I need to rename that because that's a terrible name. I want to put a navigation element right there. And I want to call it select node button holder. So I know it's a holder. It's just the thing that contains a bunch of buttons. Righto. I think this button here was just so that I can see what it looks like. Yeah. And I'm going to delete both of these. This is radical, but we'll get there. I'm going to copy that so I don't make a typo. I'm going to go to my structure panel view. And this thing over here is now a navigation element. And it's actually called that. Now we've got... Okay, so we've fixed one thing. And we've broken many other things. Okay, yeah, so now there's obviously a bunch of things happening here. Okay, so no, you need to be... Let's just grab this holder for now, and when we add a node button, we obviously add it on that. See, on node button clicked. This is a little weird, honestly. We'll have to come and think about what I'm doing here, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll come back here now. Effectively, yeah, I don't like what I'm doing here. Okay, but let's just rename everything and make sure the navigation elements are where they're supposed to be, and then I can come and refactor this code. So, node panel holder, this thing. Now, if I have it correct, these two kind of swap places, right? Essentially. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. So when first I look at the buttons. When I click one of the buttons, it switches this one off and it opens the node panel holder. And then inside the node panel holder, I can open one of my nodes. Okay, that's just to try and... Huh. Okay, so I've encountered a problem now. If my menus... They're not stacking, really. They are just interchanging. So the idea of stacking them on one another kind of breaks here. If I'm hiding one and showing another in this way. Because if I go back, this one would have been removed from the stack, so it wouldn't know how to go back to that. Okay, so I'd have to figure out... I guess what I could do... What I could do to fix this is I could have another way of navigating. Where's my navigation manager? So what I could do is I could have another thing here, public void, like exchange. Right, something like this. And it's kind of like opening. But we need to close the one we are currently looking at and replace it with the new one. Did I zoom? I did zoom. I thought everything was bigger. It was kind of nice. So let's say exchange. So essentially what this does is it closes one item, and opens a new one. Right, so we do back. Okay, but we need to give a new one. Now, would this work if I just go back? No, it won't work. Ah, damn it, man. Yeah, because if you just click, if you just do escape, sometimes I want the escape to exchange, sometimes I just want the exchange to go back. So this doesn't actually work, so I shouldn't do this. I should make it work correctly. There. Okay. We can make this happen, don't worry, guys. So I need to keep the node button holder on the stack. Open this thing. Okay, so the way I think that's gonna work is, okay, so I think I know what I have to do. I have to essentially make these things overlay. It shouldn't be the case that they are getting removed and added. They should just actually be sitting on top of one another. Yeah, but now the node panel holder itself, I don't actually think it's that important. I think this holder can be ignored for the most part. Right, and what we could do is we can have this thing. So, yeah. So here's what I think we do. We take this holder, we put it absolute. Right? We take this holder, which is not absolute, but relative, okay? And we give it a size so it doesn't look terrible. Okay, we tell it, look, you're going to be some amount, 95% of the size. I don't know if that's right. Okay, we don't want any of this weirdness to happen. No, I should make the back button a size and not allow it to grow. Back button, please stop your nonsense. Thank you very much. Okay, and then I should make this thing grow. Ah, that's better. We unset that. Okay, now this node panel holder nonsense. It's gonna live there. Width 250. Yeah, I don't know about the size here. Let's see. If I make you 585, I don't make you grow. Okay, so they're the same size now. Okay, so the idea would be these node panels would come up over top. They might not actually be that big. Okay, so there's now another problem. So does the node panel holder become a navigation element itself? But it's like, it's kind of a pointless navigation element. You never want this holder to be here on its own. It's just here for just to make everything a little bit more clear, I would say. Okay, what if we make you grow? We tell these nodes to just be full size nodes. Right. Okay, the logistics panel has its own problems, but okay, it's at least quite full. Okay, then all of these, if I just want to put them on top of the node button holder, I guess what I could do is when I go back, I can pop. Maybe this is the solution. And I can effectively just make sure that whatever navigation element is now coming to the front is being shown. Ah, that could be a good idea. Oh, I like this idea much better. So we can do, so we take off, we can do new item. So this is just the history.peak, right? So after we took off the first one, we now have a new item showing. And what we can do is we just do item.open. Right, essentially making sure that the navigation item that we are exposing now, because we removed one from the top, is being shown, right? Because it's simply just doing a flex, right? Okay, so we make sure this is the case. Now, sometimes it'll already be showing, so it's not actually a problem. But sometimes it won't be showing, so then it is a problem. But it doesn't really matter. So this thing is just going to try and make sure it flexes. Whatever is the next thing, right? So we're not taking it off or anything. That's good. Now, the next thing I think we should do is we should sometimes be able to public void, open, and hide below. Right, so let's say hide. Yeah, open and hide below. So this essentially just, let's say, opens new navigation element and hides one level below. Okay, so what do we want to do here is actually call open, and we actually want to just have a navigation element. Right, so we do that. navigation item, I guess. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, but then what we want to do is we actually want to go, before we open, we want to go below item equals history, no, not pop. We just peek at it, right? We don't want to actually remove it. We just want to see it. And then we want to do below item dot close. So it's, oh my word. So we close the below item, we hide it, but we don't remove it from the hierarchy. So that when we come back, it'll actually show itself again. That's it. We've done it. Well done, everybody. Well done. Okay, this is going to help tremendously. Because that means I can simply hide. I can do an open and hide when I want to open my new node. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Okay, which also means I can get rid of all this nonsense. Which makes me very happy. Okay, you can just unset everything here. So this node panel holder is just an element that I use to keep my nodes. As soon as I hide this one, so as soon as this one goes away, the node panel holder will take its place by, just adding a node. Okay, so one thing I do think we should do is try to make this thing grow. I kind of don't want my nodes just out here. I kind of like them inside of this node panel holder for some reason. So I need to open them. But the node panel holder is something I open and close, but it's not actually part of the navigation. It's a little bit special. Could it be part of the navigation? Nah, the problem is, then I'd have to be able to remove two things from the hierarchy, which I don't think is what I'm meant to be doing. Is there a way? Oh yes, you could just make it grow and shrink. Okay, cool. That works perfectly. So this thing will push it down when it needs to, and it will take up all the space when it needs to. Oh, it's because it's got a height. Okay, yeah, no, that works then. Okay, cool. So the node panel holder can actually just be there forever. It just gets pushed down into oblivion. Ah, perfect. Perfect. Okay, now we just need to rewrite all the code for the structure panel view so it works properly. I'm going to put it on this side so it's nice and big. Now let's think about this. So we have our button holder. Okay, fantastic. And we have this node panel holder. And honestly, this node panel holder doesn't do anything interesting anymore. So I'm going to delete it. Unless I use it to find the different nodes. No, I just do flex and hide and nonsense like that. So yeah, exactly. Node panel holder, it was fun. Cheers. I'm not gonna do you at all. Okay, so now we have a navigation element for the node button holder. Okay, and we grab it over here. So let's see. Okay, back button clicked. Okay, so this is important. Now, oh geez, this is going to be annoying. Okay, so between our UI manager and this thing, we need to rethink everything we know about. So essentially, when the back button is clicked, we need to do navigation. What the hell am I doing? It's going to be UI manager dot instance dot navigation dot back. Right, we want that to happen, at least. So when you click the back button, it'll try to pop off the old things. Now we have this clear node thing happening as well. Which just calls clear on my node panel view. I guess that's okay. We can keep that. Okay, select button holder style.display style.flex. We don't need to do this. It is going to be the next thing that's shown. Structure node.text. I guess we need to set the text then. Okay. Okay, this doesn't make any sense now. So when we initialize, I guess I want to clear the node and change the text when we initialize the view. Okay. Okay, so that's my back button fixed. Okay, on node button clicked. So I think this is now the next case. Add node button is fine. So when we do this, we do select node button holder dot style dot display. So we hide this. We set that, and we set node panel view. Now you see, this is the part of the issue because setting a node panel view is quite complicated. So I think we still want to do that. Right, we don't want to hide that thing. Not like that anyway. And I think what we need to do here is when we set the node panel view, we get the node. Okay, so we don't get the... Oh no, wait, we do. So we can do node panel view dot root container, because the root container is what we open and close. Right, and the node panel view itself, yeah, it's got its clear thing. Yeah, so here we also just need to make sure we don't do any of this stuff. We could do it at the start, I suppose. We could just make it hide itself at the beginning, in case I didn't do that in UI Toolkit. So that's fine. We can keep that, but we just need to make sure, yeah, we're not doing anything else to it. Yeah, so now this thing is being managed by our navigation manager. Okay, good. So that's clicking a node button, clearing. Okay, root container style.display, none. I don't like that. Don't want that to happen here. So when we clear, when is clear called? In many instances. So set structure panel view. We clear the current structure. Okay, I see. Okay, that's okay. We can still clear. That's not a problem. Show Vulkan UI. Okay, that one's not even being called anymore. Clear and hide structure panel view. When is this called? Okay, so this is when you click on an outpost with nothing in it. Well, not you click on an outpost, you click on a sub-region, it doesn't have an outpost. I just make it so that it's clears itself. Okay, I'm not too fond of that idea. Let's get rid of that for now. And I think what I need to do here is when I set the structure panel view, I actually want to replace root with the new structure panel view. So we do dot root container. So the idea here was you get rid of the old structure panel view and you put in a new one. It's kind of still what we're doing, but it's called replace root in this situation. Okay. So we can still clear it, which just basically goes through all the button elements. It unregisters callbacks and all that good stuff. Gets rid of them. And then it initializes it again, so those things get added again. That's just on start. So start is the only place I'm allowed to do this with the root container. Anywhere else? No. Okay, so I think the structure panel view has been sorted. Okay. Now we go to the construction panel view. Yeah. So this is the construction node. Panel view, essentially, right? Yes. It is this one. Okay, so we have our root container that we just hide at the start. We have some messages that get displayed, but they are not actually part of your hierarchy, so that's okay. We just need to check this root container stuff. Let's see. Okay, for clearing it, I do something here. That's bad. No. Bad. Don't do that. Okay, so we never clear it in this way. Where's this happening? Set node panel view. Okay, yes. So no, we don't clear it like that. We just... I mean, we can clear it, but like, why is this even happening here? Why do we clear this one? It's just unregistering. I guess I started doing this and I just kept doing it because I can't see a reason for it now. Oh well. Yeah, okay. Let's go look for more root container stuff. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so opening and closing this thing should be working fine. Okay, so what we want to do here, construction view dot root container, and that's what we're opening. Okay, wait a minute. The nodes, when we open the nodes... Yeah, okay, so the nodes would actually be open and hide below, right? That's exactly what I was thinking with the nodes, right? They are all open and hide below. Same with logistics, root container. If we open the logistics, we do open and hide below, yes. Okay, let's go to logistics, because that's that one I know is a little bit of a problem. It's actually got many levels of complexity. Let's just look at the root container first. Okay, we can hide it at the start, that's okay. We don't flex it on initializing, that's bad. And when we clear it, we do not hide it. That's all done through navigation. Okay. Now, so opening and closing should be fine. We need to open this thing in UI Toolkit and see what is up with it. Open UI Logistics Node panel. Okay. So this thing has got these manage buttons container and then the resource import and resource exports container. And then it's got some other things that I never implemented. It's also got a back button, so we should think about that one as well. Okay, so imports and exports. Okay, so all of these should actually be, because the way I do this, you tick manage imports, this goes away, and then this gets shown. So it's again one of those open and hide below situations. So we actually do want navigation elements, at least 3 of them. Right. Yeah, so these go in there. Okay, we'll have to fix everything now. Okay, so this is now going to be my manage buttons container, is now a navigation element. I'm just going to delete this one. I can make it look better later. Imports container. Boom. All of you go there. Yeah, go away. And then you are my export container. Go away. Okay, so let's see. Okay, container heading. Okay, so these things are still the same. Imports and exports. I kind of want to do import, export, container. I would kind of like them to do the same thing. We can just hide that one for now. It'll be hard to visualize both of them. So, and this button container, we can give it a size. Let's just give it a height so that the buttons can breathe. 100 seems good. 100 seems good. And we can make the buttons like that. That's okay. Not great, not fantastic. And let's hide it. That's all I needed it to do. Okay, so these ones, so these are these two containers plus my back button. OS, and then I have this selector pop-up container. Okay. Okay, so first of all, the back button, you can sit down there, be some height. I think these containers should definitely grow. Yeah, they should just be the full size of the screen. The pop-up container, you know what, let's make it not go all the way over. Yeah, something like this. And we can also just make sure, so if we hide this one and we show this one, okay, the resource exports also grow. Nice. Okay, and let's say we open up our manage buttons, then there's a back button right there. No, I think the back button will go away. Yeah, I don't think the back button actually shows at the same time as those two. Could we make this look a little bit better? What if we make it grow as well without stretching the buttons? Okay, so these buttons are on their own planet. Oh, they got a height of 45%. Okay, wait. That's probably the issue. Yeah, I mean, we can make them like a 50. Just put them at the top. I think that's okay. We can give it some margin at the top, and we can give these buttons some spacing. Or not. Okay, select the pop-up container. You are ignored, right? Yes, okay. Good, I think I like this. Okay, let's go to the code and make sure it works correctly. Wherever the code might be. Logistics node, panel view, yeah, okay. Is you, yes. Okay, so these import containers are now all gonna be navigation elements. Righto. You are navigation element, you are, and you are. The pop-up container is not. Okay. So we just have to make sure we make these navigation elements, and then everything should be okay. For the most part, yes. Okay, so let's see. If we go manage imports button clicked, right here, we can see we display and flex and do all kinds of things. Essentially what we should do. Oh, this is now an interesting one. The manage buttons container. Okay, I just thought about something. Okay, but when we click this, we should do not open and hide below. And yeah, we want to open the resource imports container. We still want to flex the button, so that's fine. Open and hide below. But now, the manage button container wasn't necessarily opened. Ooh, this is an interesting one, yes, because if I wanted to hide, then I shouldn't make it. Now that I think about it, this one specifically I don't think will work, because the one below, if I click back and I have my manage buttons container open, what I wanted to do is close the entire node view, right? Not just this little buttons container. So actually, we're not doing open and hide below. We're just going to do open, and we need to manually hide this one. Okay. And then that should also mean that the buttons container shouldn't actually be a navigation element. Now, it doesn't really matter that it is a navigation element, but we could make it just a normal visual element again. And I think something similar is now going to be the problem for the structure panel view, right? Yeah. Actually, yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. I didn't think about it that way. Okay, so we'll go back to that one and fix it as well. Okay, so this is fine. Manage imports button clicked. Back button clicked. This makes it very interesting because if we click the back button now, yeah, we do want to do UI manager.instance navigation dot back, right? That's fine. We do want to go back. That'll sort out those two. We want to get rid of the button, and we want to make sure that thing shows again. Now, this is not gonna shit. This is not actually gonna work for my. So this works if I click the back button, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work when I right click or escape. These things won't come back or go away. But they should. Now that is interesting. Does that mean when we go back, sometimes we want to know that we closed a particular navigation element in order to do some additional things in the panel view? We probably do. You know what that means? This thing should have public event actions, I would say. And it can be on, closed, right? And we can actually have an on, opened as well. We don't need to register to this. On closed, invoke. On open. Yeah, the open one, I don't think we're going to use that often. We'll see. But if we did this, and we're clever about this, we know that, for instance, in this situation, specifically, we actually do want to do manage. So let's see. No. Resource imports container dot on closed. Okay, we're actually going to rename this. import exports container on closed, right? And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do the exports container. So we know that whenever we close one of those containers, it'll always mean that we want to bring back our logistics back button. Well, no, to hide it as well, right? Because there's no more back. And we want to manage container button to be shown. Right? And now what we could actually do, we can do the same thing in this case for opening as well. Now the opening is not that important because we are clicking on the thing. So I'm technically doing this here, and I would keep doing it here because I always know when I open them. Yeah, this is more distinct. So I think, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Let's get rid of that. We don't need to use events for everything, right? We are clicking on it. We know we are clicking on it. So we just need to make sure we do a UI manager dot instance dot navigation dot open and resource exports container, right? And then we just flex these two, no problem. Okay, now I removed the wrong thing. This is what we need to do. Okay. So now when we click the back button, all it does is go back. But we know when we close one of these two, we also want to show these buttons. Okay, and we can just, for the hell of it, deregister from these. Because we like doing that, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Now, I think we have the same problem with our structure. Yeah, when we go back here, we are essentially... Yeah, but if we go back again... Yeah, no, it's not going to work out for me. The basic problem is the select node button holder. This is actually a tough one because... So if you go back, I do want to open this thing again. Yeah, but if I go back again, since it is a navigation element, it's gonna essentially tell me it's gonna close this, and then I'm gonna have a structure, the root of the structure without anything in it. And I'd have no way to go back to the nodes. And there's really not anything else to do with the structure if you can't see the nodes. So that's now the problem here. If I go back again, this is gonna break it. You know what? Let's let it break, so let's test what I have and see if anything even works currently. And then if it breaks, we can figure out a way to have it not do that anymore. Also need to get all these pop-ups and things to work with this as well, but yeah, that's a problem for a different day. Yeah, so if we click on this, it opens. Now if I go back, stack empty. Huh? Okay. I guess I popped it and I didn't check if I still had anything. So I should check again, right? Okay, that makes sense. And then I don't know what this means. Delegate helpers. Okay, no idea what that is. That's a built-in Unity thing that I'm not aware of. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so we click on Vulkan. Go back. Yeah, it just closes everything. Okay. Click on Vulkan again, it opens it again, so that's fine. If I open the construction we have a problem. Oh, you know what the problem is? When I click on Vulkan, yeah, okay. So when I click on Vulkan, it opens the structure panel view, right? So this gets opened, but I do not open my... Yes, I didn't open this node button holder explicitly as well. So I guess I should do that then on initialize. I should do something like UI manager.instance.navigation open node select node button holder. Yes. So when I initialize a structure, I should open this so that it's structure node button holder on top, and then when I click on a structure, it'll actually get rid of the node button holder and not the structure. I see. Okay, let's try this again. Good thing we're testing, right? Okay, so clicking on this, it should add 2 things to the stack, theoretically. If I click on construction now, it still hides everything. Oh, for crying out loud. Why? Logistics. Nothing. Okay, so we are obviously doing something wrong. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna go back on my clever idea of open and hide below. Doesn't remove it, it just closes it. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let the errors come, and then we'll fix them. Okay, let's just do an open then. For all of these, because obviously it's not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're just opening now normally. Okay, let's just check if it compiles. I think those were the only errors. Seems to be happy. Okay, construction. Now it doesn't hide this thing on top. So I can now keep opening modules, nodes forever. Okay. Okay, this is terrible. Okay, let's see. So on node button clicked, right? Okay, we do set node panel view, which opens up the node. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, we call this one essentially, and then either we go to a construction node or a logistics node. We break out of this. Okay. Now the big thing is then when we go back, need to go back. Okay. Then we say clear node. Yeah, we don't actually have anything to register to. To let the structure know to re-show when we go back. For the button click, it's fine. I'm thinking about... Yeah, the structure panel view doesn't know about any of the nodes going back. So what we could do is public void on node panel closed. Right, we could do something like that. And then when we close a node panel, now we can do this. We can also then, what we could do is we can grab our select node button holder, and now this is where we kind of have to be. So we're actually not going to open it on initialization. We're going to do dot style dot display style dot flex, right? We're just going to flex it. And then we're going to do the same thing when we close our node panel. And then when we click our node button, we're going to just let it go away. Okay, so this thing's never going to be added to our stack because it's technically not quite that. It's something like that, but it's different. And now on node panel closed, we need to come here, and this is annoying. But essentially what I need to do is I need to go and ask, so node panel view dot root container dot on closed, and it's going to be node panel on closed. Okay, we're just going to do that, and whenever that happens, okay, we want to do a couple of things. So I think we want to do clear node, actually. Clear node. So that helps. We can just do that now. We don't need to go here to clear node. Clear node can always happen now there. Actually, I don't know why it's doing it there. I mean, for the back. So now this is always just a back click, and this will happen regardless. And then we can do struct structure panel view dot on node panel closed. Right, something like that. The naming is insane. Yeah, but now essentially, whenever we close a node panel, we'll know about it. Yeah, and we can do the same thing now for the normal node panel, the construction node panel, the logistics node panel. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. So we always do this for each of those. Okay, let's see if this works a little bit better, because the previous version was all broken. I think we're getting close. Okay, so we click on Vulkan, everything shows. We go to construction. I mean, it's doing something. Null reference exception, okay. We try to set the structure panel view again. Why? Why did it try to do that again? So we did clear node, node panel view dot clear. What's happening here? Okay, this is a strange one. Why would it... The node panel view is just added there. Does it not have a root container yet? Ooh, that might be it, actually. Yeah, okay. The root container is not being set in time, I think. Yeah, if you think about it, so on start, it should get the root container sorted. I'm assuming this is still null at that point. Yeah, maybe the start hasn't occurred yet, right? Yeah, because I do this in initialize, and this initializing happens with connect simulation, which happens with a start that is at the first, so it's the default. The ordering is very early. Yeah, so this one will not happen as quickly. Yeah. Okay, so is there anything... This is just getting all the stuff from root and whatever. This is only internal, right? Yeah, this is all internal stuff. So I can actually do this on awake. Right, it could just happen very early because it's not connecting to anything external from itself. Yeah, these are just all its own things that it's trying to establish here. Okay, so that'll work. And then the construction node probably has the same problem. It's got quite a bit more of it. But I think I'm just trying to get all the stuff. Yeah, it seems like I'm just trying to get all the stuff, right? So I'm going to do awake here as well. And then my logistics... a little bit simpler, I think. Yeah, but this is also just registering things inside. So let's do all of these on awake, and I think that would help. Yeah, because we can't register to a event if the thing we're registering to is still null. Right. Okay, let's try that again. It's still a null reference exception here. That's very strange. So I'm guessing the root container is just null, right? Node panel view dot root container. I'm guessing it's just null, right? Maybe I didn't save something. Okay, oh no, it is null for sure. Okay, so we know for a fact the root container is not set. Ugh, for crying out loud. Okay, node panel view. Why is your root container not being set in time? It is being done on awake. Okay, so we're grabbing the node panel, then the root container within it. Oh, wait a minute. No. No, should that be a problem? Okay, so let's go to open UI structure panel. So it grabs this thing. I mean, I did hide them, but that shouldn't be a problem. Right, it's there. Strange. And then it should just grab the root container inside of this thing, right? So do I need to tell my UI manager to do this maybe later? I could do this at start, right? So I could maybe tell it to not worry about initializing, because the initialization might happen early. We can do it at start. Then at least we know for a fact the other things happen because it's on a wake. They should all happen before this happens. Don't know why this is being so difficult right now. This should be the easy part. Nope. Still. Oh, now it's the construction. Wait. Yeah, line 41. It couldn't find the extraction node button. So when I try to set node definition SO. Okay. This time it's because it's actually trying to get something from game data. Okay. So this one has to happen on start. This one technically doesn't have to happen on start. Okay, what we can do. We could, for the UI manager, delay its start, right? So for game entry point, we do default execution order. So we can do this one like a 5, right? So negative number means it happens sooner. Positive number means it happens later. If all the other ones start at default, this one will start later, right? I was not expecting this much hardship. Finally, no errors. So if we click here and we go to construction, that looks terrible, but it is the construction one. And okay, now if I right click, I go back to production for some reason. And my construction is still here at the bottom. What? What the hell is happening here? This is so flippin' stupid anyway. I didn't get errors, but I definitely got bugs. Okay, so we do set this to none on start. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, I don't really care about those. This is so weird. Why did it open with a right click? Why did it open the next thing? Is this my game input? Let's see. So secondary action performed and select performed. Okay, select is okay, that's select. Yeah, secondary action performed should always be back. I'm assuming right clicking on UI elements. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go to our structure panel view again. Add node button. Pointed down event. Does this check for what kind of pointed down event does this check for? Okay, let's ask our friend ChatGPT here. So with UI Toolkit, if you just do register callback pointer down event on a button, right, or a visual element, and I think, yeah, it's a custom button, whatever, it doesn't matter. What kind of pointer down event is it listening to? Left or right click, or is it both? Because I kind of only wanted to work on left click, but I'm not sure if that's actually what's happening right now. And I need to check my volume, because when I do that, this thing disabled my microphone. Is it working again? Yes. Okay, properties. Levels. Full blast, okay. Oh wait, no, I fixed this, I remember now. Okay, so pointer down event. All pointer button presses. Okay. Okay, so it's all of them. Interesting. So I need to check event.button not equal 0. Because 0 is okay. So right here where I register the callback on node button clicked, what I need to do here is if event.button not equal 0, return. Okay, so that's a small one. It was registering the click when I click right click. Okay, I want to, and how many other places this is happening? Well, let's ask. By default, how does a button work if I register to a button? If I just do back button.clicked, for instance, plus equals button.clicked, is that also something that I need to be concerned with, or is it always left click in that case? Okay, so the Unity buttons already just work in the way I want it to work. But that specific thing wasn't just a normal button. I think it's a class that it's a visual element that I made. It's a custom button. Okay, so I need to remember that for custom buttons and stuff. Okay. So let's try again. We're gonna get there one day. So I want to click on construction. Then I want to go back. Okay, it keeps it open there. Right, we are seeing this. It's not closing something. It's still there. So let's do... no, not UI builder, man. UI tool debugger. Let's see. Pick element. Okay, so the node panel holder is still down there, and it's still got all of these panels inside. Those panels should have gone away. Okay. Let's see what we messed up there. I guess I kind of forgot how I did this in the past. So well, I guess they should exist, but it's... Okay, it's opening... So it should do close, but it's not. But the root container is a navigation element. And all navigation elements do that. Why then is it not actually happening? This is being called by... Is it being overwritten somewhere? Opening works the way I thought it would. Oh, maybe it's this nonsense that I put in my back. Might be. Let's get rid of that. Maybe that is part of the problem. I was not thinking that I was going to sit here for another 2.5 hours figuring this out. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's see. So I open extraction and I go back. I open construction. I go back. Research back. Processing back. Ooh, we might be onto something here. Windows, UI toolkit, debugger. Let's see, pick elements right there. Okay, so we still have them. Right, they always exist, right? They never go away. They are flexed, but... yeah, the containers below are not being flexed. Fantastic. So if I click on power, okay, and I go to node panel now, the root container should be flex. And if I go back, none. Perfect. Ah, thank goodness. Okay. Let's go to logistics because this one's interesting. Okay, those buttons look terrible. We'll have to fix that. So we go manage imports. Okay, that also looks terrible. We'll have to go fix that. Okay, now here we have a potential problem. There are 2 back buttons currently being shown. Okay, so the logistics element is a little bit wonky. Okay, the logistics element's not working at all. Essentially. Okay, let's stop there. Let's go look at it. See what we need to do there. Okay, first of all, let's open it up here and just fix it a little bit because it looks horrible right now. Actually, don't know why. No, like why did it appear? Okay, so let's imagine this one is closed and then this one's open. It should just be at the top. I don't know why it was being strange. Okay, so logistics node, panel view. And let's see, we initialize it. I think we can set these maybe over here. So when we click on it, our manage button container gets shown, okay? And whenever we close one of these, that happens. Yeah, I think this might be breaking with my the icon selector potentially as well. So manage export button clicked. So we open the export container through navigation, so that's correct. We hide that button and we show this button. Okay, we click this, we just go UI manager instance navigation back. Now I'm thinking the structure does the same thing, right? And its back button is still there. Right, so if we click the back button, either or, both of them should do the same thing. So we should actually remove one of them then, I guess. Okay, what if we remove this one? So just gonna get rid of the back button. Okay, we don't register to it. We don't get it, and I'm just gonna make it not visible and leave it that way. So we'll go back button, go away. Yeah, we're not going to worry about the back button. We'll work with our escape buttons and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so this is fine. Now, as soon as I open up okay, so we have this add export, add new import element, and then we do add logistics element, and we add the elements here, right? So this happens from the view model, right? So we grab logistics resource logistics element, we add it, and that's good. Now this thing itself doesn't do anything funny. However, it does in fact have an icon selector, and this thing can do many funny things. So we get a new one, we initialize it, not necessarily there. This is how we would get it. We add it and all that good stuff. Now, when you click on this thing, okay, you know what? Let's open up the icon selector. I think okay, that's a button. If you click it, you toggle pop-up. If pop-up's equal to null, we do show pop-up. Pop-up. Otherwise, we do hide pop-up, which... okay, I think I need to fix something here as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think hiding the pop-up could be a problem in some ways. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so we do show pop-up. That's fine. So we get a new navigation element. We add it to all our things. That's fine. We do root.add pop-up, and we tell our navigation to open the pop-up, right? Okay, so the pop-up now exists. Then when we right-click, our navigation should tell the pop-up to go away. See, this is now where things go badly. Yeah. So what I should actually do, so I should do pop-up dot on closed, and I should do this instead, on close pop-up. So this is now when we right-clicked and it closed the pop-up, right? We should essentially hide the pop-up. So we should say if the pop-up is not equal to null, which it shouldn't be at that point. UI Manager instance navigation back. Okay, let's do this. Or we could do just hide pop-up, right? Now, if we close the pop-up, that means navigation.backed was already called. So we don't call it again, but we do want to remove the pop-up from root and set it to null. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we just listen to if the pop-up is closed using the back button. We're not clicking anywhere. Yeah, also I don't like toggle pop-up. I would rather do open pop-up. So we create a new pop-up and we add it to... Okay, I think this might fix some of our pop-up woes. I hope. Don't know if I did anything yet. Okay, I got rid of the back button at least. Maybe that helps somewhat. We'll see now what things look like. Okay, just save on this side. Let it recompile, and then we can check if our imports menu works a little bit better now. Okay, play. Please work a little bit better now. I require you to work much better, actually. Flawlessly, in fact. Okay, let's see. So, logistics. Okay, so that still looks like complete garbage. Why though? Why would it just do that? Okay, pick an element. What is up? Oh, it has each of these other two nonsense panels in here. But why? Okay, the root containers aren't being flexed. But they themselves, I suppose, have a size. That's interesting. Okay, so that's bad. I didn't know it did that. Okay, anyway, but there's our logistics. Okay, so at least I understand the problem now. Okay, so we go manage imports. Add new import. Open the pop-ups. Close the pop-up. Open the pop-up again. Close it again. Open, close, open, close, open. Click on something. Accept. Close. Ah, okay. Okay, so one more thing. So with the icon selector, as soon as you do set value, yeah, this is when we click a row button, right? We do set value for item. Where is set value? Oh, here we go. Oh, we do hide pop-up here as well. You know what? We might as well also do UI manager.instance.navigate navigation dot back in this case. So as soon as you set an item, we also go back. Yo, Mig, how's it going, man? Then we actually don't need to do hide pop-up because we know what to do with that. Yeah. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm glad to see you're around. So I've been it's not going very well currently because I've decided that the navigation through my UI is a little clunky. Selic Mazer, how's it going? I think that's how I would say it. But anyway, so I decided to change the navigation. And yes, I was busy with that for a couple of hours yesterday and another 2.5 hours this morning, just trying to figure out how to get all my menus to show and hide themselves with my new navigation manager. I wanted to get away from having button clicks being the way you go through menus, and I wanted you to be able to set things up like escape or right click and stuff like that. And like, if you didn't think that way from the beginning, going back and changing all your UI to work like that is kind of a pain, because it just breaks in so many unforeseen ways. You've been stuck on slot machine code. Like a gambling slot machine. One of those. You're making a gambling game. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's still going to be an issue, so we'll fix that now. But if I go click here and I select something, it knows, and if I right click, it should go back immediately. Okay, it went back. But not exactly in the way I wanted it to. If I right click now, it should show me the buttons again. Why doesn't it? Oh, for crying out loud. It's a dungeon crawler with a slot machine for addicts. Just in case, right? Seelick Maze is one of the addicts. Ah, okay. Great stuff. Yeah, you can see now. So add new resource. Okay, let's try and actually add the resource, right? Now if I go back, doesn't do anything. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, why? Oh, why? Can somebody explain to me why? So, logistics node panel view. We clearly have that when we close our resource import container or our export container, we would like to get our manage button container displayed again. But it doesn't do that. So debug.log, I guess. Why is this? Oh wait, I need to do a string, right? Why is this not showing my buttons? I think this is where the problem is. Cheers, Meg. Have a good one, eh? I guess you are somewhere in the Western Hemisphere, hey? Bedtime. It's clearly trying to flex them. It only goes away when you click on one of them, and when you close them, it should be fine. That's such a weird... I'm pretty sure this works, because it works with the other things. Is it a typo? No, it's not a typo. OnClosed should be called. It's been working for my other navigation elements. I mean, it is closing it, so why? It's bizarre. Okay, let's see what it prints. Your inner AI mindset. Oh no. You've developed an inner AI mindset. That's bad. Yeah, look, I'm no stranger to putting stuff into ChatGPT, but this should just work. I don't see any flaws in my logic, so I'm a little confused. Okay, if I right-click now, before I do anything else, it doesn't get... It's not doing anything. What? How? I mean, it seems to be working fine with the other ones, but not with the logistics one. No, doesn't make any sense. This should work. These containers are a thing. Because I do the same thing with my UI manager over here, where I listen to the on closed whenever I close a node panel button. And then I tell my structure, listen, go do something interesting with this. Crying out loud. Okay, well, I guess if you're using it to do the actual coding, that makes sense. Claude and Fable is probably better. But that's not really how I use it, though. I normally use it to teach me things. So I ask it about, how does the UI toolkit for Unity work with this particular element? Or how do I do this with this particular element? And stuff like that. So I don't actually use it to code. I just use it to teach me things. Because I'm still learning and trying to Google it. I guess Googling it's not that bad either, because it's just Gemini, which is also AI, so it gets to the point quite quickly. Let's talk about back in the day, right? Going to Stack Overflow, looking through other people's posts, asking dumb questions so that you can learn from their dumb questions. It's good that we're not there anymore. Anyway. Yeah, this is quite bizarre. Unless I somehow clear. When do I clear this? Maybe I clear this at the wrong time. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. Never mind. It's fine, everybody. It's fine. It's all fine. This should be an initialize, not in start, because this happens once. This happens every time you open it. So even if you clear it again, you can get to it again. Okay. I don't even need this anymore, because I know exactly what I did. So let's... Well done, everybody. Well done. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So you can just watch your code and be like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I know you can do in VS, like once you hear and you get an error, you can like right click, ask Copilot, for instance. And then I guess that's similar. Like you ask Copilot and you can be like, why is this line so weird, right? Or whatever your problem is. Or why is this squiggly red line over here? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, logistics, manage imports, new import. So I can be like, oh, I want silicon. Actually, let's go back. Manage imports again. You know what? Let's go back again. Manage exports, add new export. Structural alloys, accept amount. Back. Finally. That was quite a day. Okay, now there's some other nonsense happening here with the other two nodes being all big and annoying. Oh, it's Copilot ChatGPT. I didn't know that. Yeah, ChatGPT does hallucinate quite often. I've noticed. Or at least, yeah, no, it's what it is. It's fine, it can hallucinate. It means my job's safe. Okay. Now there's some ugliness happening in my UI. Specifically with my structure panel, where it seems like each of these panels have a size. Right, which means they kind of take up space when they shouldn't. Yeah, like even if you go in here and you hide your root container, the whole thing still kind of sits around. So I kind of want it to be not like that. I wonder. Yeah, because I'm not hiding this whole thing. I'm just hiding the root container. I mean, technically this thing should only be the root container for the most part. This thing shouldn't have a size. What is happening? Why is that happening? Maybe I shouldn't let it do any of this. So now it will only be the size of the things inside of it, right? So if I go to my construction node panel and I hide my root container, this thing should be small. Well, let's open it and see. So I'm going to go construction. Yeah, save, please. Don't just go out. If I tell this thing, hello, why are you? Oh, cheers, man. 2 a.m. Wow. Yeah, no, please, don't let me keep you. So if I take away the root container, right? Save it, and then we go open again, and we go back to our structure panel. We'll notice. Okay, so now it does work. So these things were being funny before because they were allowed to grow. Okay, now they will grow to the size they need to be, I guess. Or they will at least shrink. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's give it a go. See if this looks any better. And if it is, I might actually just call it there, because it's almost 8 a.m. and I also need to start heading out. Okay, so if I click on logistics, okay, much better, much better. Construction, logistics, processing, production, research. Yep. And I can just right click all this time. I don't need to go down to the button. The right clicking is amazing. Should have done this many years ago. Okay, if I take Vulcan and I try to move, it won't work. Okay, it shouldn't actually even give me that pop-up, to be honest. We should unanchor first. Okay, wait a minute. What did this thing just do? Okay, so click on Vulcan. If I right click on that, it should not have anything disappear. Okay. So I can tell it to move there, and it does. And I still have all my panels and stuff open here, so I can still do what I want. Okay. Now if I move back this way, yeah, okay. Now if I right click without having anything selected, okay, that happens. Okay, now when that happens, what's happening here? Oh, I'm zoomed in. That's why half of my stuff's cut off. So I close this entirely, even though it still seems like Vulcan is selected, which I'm not a fan of. So maybe we should also deselect Vulcan in that case. Because if I right click here now, it should try to travel. Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, guys, I think I am happy. Ending it there. It's like I said, it's 8 a.m., which means my other work day is starting very soon. So I gotta head out, get some stuff ready. I'll probably get back to the game, throughout the day, hopefully. Normally I do get time, depending on what I need to do today. But regardless, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So cheers. And I guess I'll raid somebody. So let me just throw up this screen and then we can find somebody to raid. Go say hello. Raid button. Where are you? Raid channel. Who do we raid? I don't know. Yeah, let's raid this guy. I don't know what he's doing. Is he developing games? Okay. Don't know who to raid. That's fine. We'll raid somebody tomorrow. Okay, cheers.